Guess what? One of the biggest benefits for me getting sober, living a sober life, is I now can make time to get high on life and wasted on nature. Wasted on nature, man. I just got out of these hot springs, got out of that cold water, and it really just brings me back into my body to give thanks for this incredible body that I've been blessed with. You've been blessed with it. And you just think about how many of you're just stuck inside your head. You're stuck inside that thinking mind. You're stuck inside in the past, or you're anxious for the future. And yet, if you could just kick off your shoes and socks and do some grounding, do some earthing, connecting with nature, right? That would be the biggest difference maker in your life. Mark my words. The other thing that I've been really thinking about lately, especially after a lot of people that I'm meeting with, and if you haven't reached out yet, but you're ready for some change, especially getting some momentum into 25, reach out. Greg@resultskillexcuses.com. 3 things. You got to reach out, have the courage to connect with me. We're going to set up a meeting, one-on-one, virtual call, and your ass better show up, right? And there's no charge. It's a gift from me to you. But you gotta want to make some changes in your life. And I can tell you one of the biggest changes that I made along this 12-year journey, right, was getting sober, was doing life on life's terms. It's the best. It's the best. Getting high on life. Being out here in the elements. Having a healthy body, not having to worry about how am I going to get home safe tonight? Am I going to get DWI or, any of that shit, right? It's just that clarity and joy. And I know that the reason why my addictions were were as bad as they were is because my pain, the unhealed emotional pain that I had inside of me was that bad. That I needed just everything that I could find, right? To just get high, to numb out, to check out, so that I didn't have to feel that. And that's, if you're battling with that right now, man, I know it's all rooted in emotional trauma. I hope you realize that. I hope that you'll allow yourself to look in the mirror and say, really? Am I just addicted? Do I just need to kick my addiction? Or do you need to heal the emotions? It's the emotions. It's not the addiction. See, the thing is that when you start to reconnect with yourself and heal yourself and really start to see yourself with spiritual eyes, not judgmental, not the critic inside, but real spiritual eyes, unconditional love for self, then it's like you realize that, oh man, all of this is all just self-medicating relief, efforts for relief. Well, what do you need relief from? Of how you feel about yourself. What's really going on underneath the surface? And one of the things that I've realized in almost everyone that I've connected with recently, and even some people up here in the hot springs today, was, we're there in the hot springs and everybody is so wound up. Everybody is moving too fast. Stop, slow down, slow down. Can you give yourself permission to slow down? You already know it. I know that this is facts. You're moving too fast in your head, in your mind. This is why it's so important to get in our bodies, do these body scans. It's really something I offer in the meeting, the one-on-one session, is doing a body scan, getting in our bodies, getting out of your head, doing some breath work, allowing us to just reconnect with our bodies and really say, how are we really feeling? Somebody I met with yesterday, I think it was yesterday, after doing that body scan, the feeling that they had was of abandonment. I know I've felt that. I think I've even been feeling it a lot today. I'm an empath, which means that I pick up on energies. I can see what's going on. And I think that I'm given a gift to facilitate. I cannot heal you. You have everything you need to heal inside of you. So I don't do healing. What I do is I facilitate. I will walk you down the path towards your own healing. You have the power to heal yourself from anything. And if you don't think that's true, you need to look up and be inspired by placebo effects. Look up someone like Dr. Joe Dispenza. This guy healed his spine with his mind. How is it possible? Totally miraculous, man. The mind, nothing exists without the mind. It all starts right here. And I just noticed right now, and it's even, we're in the midst of the holidays. Everybody's moving so fast and moving, and in such a rush that they can't. Can you even allow yourself to just enjoy where you're at? Do you even want to enjoy where you're at? Maybe you hate where you're at. If you do, then go outside. Doesn't matter if it's snowing or cold or windy. The elements, we need to experience the elements. It's good for us. We're built to be exposed to all the elements. And I say even the ones that you think you hate the most. I hate the snow. Go put yourself in the snow. I hate the wind. Go find some wind. You need to take those down. Why? Ask yourself why. Well, it's cold. Okay. And I just want to be warm. That's cute. It's cute that some people are so sensitive. I can tell you more times than not throughout my life, things that I resisted, things that I applied, I wrote off or just said, that's dumb. I don't like that. As I've evolved and opened up spiritually, mentally, right, emotionally, those are the things I needed, right? When I was all depressed and sad, what do you think one of the first things is that I gave up? Going outside. I was too depressed. I stayed in the four walls, sad, lonely, watching the tube, eating, drinking, getting high, licking my wounds. And you need to be outside in the sun and the elements. It's freezing out here today, and I'm with a tank top and shorts, because it just feels fresh. It feels good to just expose our bodies to nature. We need that. I think every human needs nature, needs the elements, hot, cold, right? But in doing it, don't just do it to do it, right? Some people come to these hot springs and they think it's like hot tubbing, man, with brewskis and, partying. And it's like, nah, man. You get in some natural hot springs here in northern New Mexico. It's like going to 1 hour is like 1,000 doctor's visits, man. There's medicine, sacred medicine in that water. And yet, when you go outside, you have a chance to disconnect. You have a chance to just slow down. Get out of your thinking mind. Don't worry about the emails and the heartbreak and the stress and the grief and the loss. Like, just connect with nature. Just know that everything has happened for you, not to you. That's the hardest one, ain't it? I think that's the hardest one for most people. I can't believe that. It's really one of the most toxic things that I've learned throughout my healing journey. Trigger warning. This is going to offend some people. Is when you say that someone's yours, that's my wife, my spouse, my lover, my kids, my car. Nothing is yours. All you got is you. It's not yours. And that's why so many people get so racked up, is because you create an attachment. And then when the thing is gone, now what? Nothing but grief, sadness, isolation fills that void versus life, right? Relationship, losing a relationship, which I had that happen recently. It's painful. I'm sitting here today and trying to process and trying to elevate my mind to saying that wasn't a failure. It was for the good of both of us. I learned a lot. I got to see a lot. The thing is if you're in a state of isolation right now, Maybe you're going through grief because you really did lose someone. Someone died. And yet you're still grieving it and you're still in isolation. Well, the thing is that you're not going to really, you'll stay in grief the longer you stay isolated. You need to re-immerse. You need to go and start living life and trying new things, doing new things, and connecting with people, socializing. Right? That's a really key ingredient for it, because it's in doing that that you get the feedback to realize what lessons have you learned, what did you get to experience from that person that you can then carry on and share with someone else. Isn't life the greatest gift? Right? What guarantees you life? I think it's 150,000 people die every single day on this planet, and it's not just because of old age. There's everything, like we're all gonna die. The body's gonna die, the ego's gonna die. And where most people struggle and where most people are conflicted is, the whole idea of the spiritual realm and the afterlife. And I'm really in a place of neutrality on that. Me and God are like this, right? I'm walking with God right now. He's with me, I'm with him, right? And it's not religious. I don't need to go and tell you, my God is XYZ. I can show you my God's love by what? By being loving. So instead of telling me and proclaiming who your God is, why don't you show it? Why don't you go and why don't you start to walk with the love of your God? And that's really a whole nother subject, right? Going from grief, going from life and death, which that's what it is. It's this loss. It's a spiritual thing. That's where so many of us are struggling. I think that's where I wanted to bring it back to, is we struggle with loss because of our beliefs. We think this person's gone forever, and then we have this uncertainty, the mystery of the afterlife, right? And then we have all these attachments saying, well, that was my so-and-so, right? They were supposed to be here forever. And it's like, who promised you that? Who told you that? You told yourself that. That story you created that story. Who promised you? When I'm a father, I have 2 kids. No one promised me that my kids are going to be around forever. No one promised that. And no one promised them that I'm going to be around forever. No one promises this. We write ourselves these stories. And I believe that it's based in the spiritual. And I believe that in a time like now, it's kind of weird, man. If I can deviate just a little bit. I've been putting this message out there for a minute, and I do thank every single one of you that connect with it on a deep level. It's resonating. I believe I'll tell you what, I believe I'm a very authentic guy, right? I don't care if someone likes my mustache, likes my hair, likes what I say or how I say it. I've truly embodied my truth. I've been in the wilderness, right? I got outside the boxes. God led me away into the wilderness. He said, man, the boxes they're not it. They're proclaiming it, but they're not doing it. He's like, at one time, God told me, don't worry about memorizing all this stuff, man. Don't worry about like bashing someone over the head about Jesus or whatever the belief is, man. He's like, go be love. Go be it. Go be loving, right? And that's what I'm trying to talk about. I don't get that. If you're a Christian and you're hearing this message, like my observation in all the people I've interacted with, Christians are the most abrasive, like aggressive people in the comments, right? And it's not like, like you're not even walking in the truth. All you're doing is like proclaiming, right? Which is literally just like bashing someone over the head saying, I proclaim this. And it's like, man, be it. Be what you're proclaiming. Be loving. I'll tell you a story about Jesus, the Jesus I know, right? So there was this woman that was caught in an act of adultery. And they had taken her out to the town square to be stoned. That was the penalty for adultery back in the day. And Jesus came upon them and they asked him, Jesus, what do you think about this? This woman's been caught in an act of adultery, right? And do you think that we should stone her? And he looks around at everyone there and he said, whichever one of you is without sin, is without adultery, let you be the first one to cast the stone. Let you be the one to bash her in the fucking head. I mean, that's how this guy's talking, right? He's like, man, he's talking in parables and he's like, man, whichever one of you dudes is innocent, go ahead and fucking smash her head in, man. And it's just, that's the funniest thing to me. And that's why I think God is expanding in ways that makes the traditional Christian really uncomfortable. A guy like me, right, which is just representing the Spirit of God, which is just unconditional love, saying, man, like, let's heal. Let's do some real healing, man. Let's do some real work. Let's not be afraid of shit other than ourselves. Let's trust that we have the power to heal, that we have the power to rewrite ourselves, and that we need to transcend the judging. We don't need to have fear. Even Jesus, back to Jesus, the Jesus I know, his disciples used to come to him, hey, Lord, this guy over here, he's false. He's lying about you, but he's making money off of you. Should we go and take him out? And he's like, man, just leave him alone, man. Leave him alone. It'll all work itself out. Jesus was pretty chill guy, man. Other than the time that he went into the temple and started flipping over tables. I love that guy too. But man, some of y'all Christians, I'm just letting you know, you should check yourselves. You really should check if you truly do exemplify what you say you believe, which is love, right? God is love. It says to love your neighbors as yourself. That's the greatest, right? To love your neighbors as yourself. To put no God above God. And yet there you are with your teams and your sports and your music and your food and your this and your that and your politicians. It's all hypocrisy. And it's all based in fear. It's all fear-based. So many of us are moving in fear. And we're moving way too fast. Slow down. Connect with nature. I've even had people tell me, man, nature, that's the devil's. It's like, are you kidding me, man? Nature's the devil's. Interesting conversation today. Interesting. I love my time in nature. And I hope I can inspire some of you to get in nature. Yes, I got in the river. It wasn't that deep, though. Cold. It was frozen over. Cold water, hot water, good medicine. And obviously, this is the best therapy for me. For me, nature therapy, it's the best therapy, man. Right? Some of y'all go to church and think about nature, think about the game, think about work. Right? I go to nature and I think about God. So, you do you. But it's interesting how so many people want to come at people. And it's a turnoff, right? It's a turnoff. It's not effective. And it's all fear-based, right? Because at the end of the day, if you truly believed what you believed, then you would actually live it out. Stop judging, right? Work on yourself, right? Work on yourself. Look in the mirror. We all have a lot of areas that we could work on ourselves. 1% every day, right? 1% every day. No days off. How many of y'all, it's a holiday, day off today? Bullshit, man. 1% better every day. Who were you yesterday? Can you improve that guy today or that gal today? I mean, that's the whole game. And some of y'all are still living by the calendar. Some of y'all are still ego-based, still physical-based, still cheering for this team or cheering for that social issue, when it's like all of it has been put there to distract you. And what are you distracted from? Doing the real work. taking your power back, cultivating your connection with the divine, becoming the greatest version of yourself by forgiving yourself, forgiving others, not judging no more, not getting so stressed out. And that takes slowing down. I think being in nature is the best place to do it. That little bird up there's agreeing with me. He's like, yeah, going out in nature is the best place to slow down. But you can even do it right there in your home, right? When was the last time you literally just said, you know what, I'm gonna take 5 minutes to not fall asleep, to lay down in my bed, to breathe, and do a body scan. You literally just go from your head to your shoulders, to your chest, to your arms, to your stomach, your abdomen, your groin, your buttocks, your hips, your legs, your ankles, your feet. And you just check in with yourself. How are you feeling? Not how do you think you are. I'm good, right? That's most of you. I'm good. You ain't good. How do you really feel? And like this guy said yesterday, he felt abandoned to really connect with his body and be still. I feel at peace right now. I feel strong. I do have some sadness. I'll tell you that much. There is sadness from some of the loss. And guess what? I give myself permission to be sad. Right? Losing people hurts. It does hurt. Right? And it's something that it takes time. But if you're actually spiritual enough, right, you can connect with even those you've lost, even if they're gone from the 3D realm. Their energy is still present. And that's probably a subject for another day. But today, can you just give yourself permission to slow down? Slow down. How can you slow down? Slow down. Slow down your talk. Slow down your walk. Slow down your thinking. Slow down your eating. Slow down your responses. Slow down your driving. What else can you slow down? Right? Just slow down. Be present more. Thinking mind needs a rest. Try and get in your body. That's a powerful place to be. They say one of the hardest journeys to go on is from your mind to your heart. This world needs a lot more heart-centered men for sure, but people in general to be heart-centered, heart-led. That means unconditional love, life on life's terms, spirit-filled, right? Truly living from a place of abundance, not a place of scarcity, not a place of lack, not a place of perfection, but a place of excellence, saying 1% better each and every day. You know the drill. Results kill excuses, because if it was easy, it wouldn't be worth it. Greg's out.